Hey, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. So, we are in July and we have one more eclipse to go through. And this eclipse is coming on July 5th. Thank you, Sherry, for letting me know that the comments of my last video because I never remember the dates. So before doing this update, I went to check because I saw that you did right when it was. So thank you for that. So July is here and upcoming eclipse, and this eclipse is coming with a bang, like full of light. So much light that it's gonna burn. Full of light in the sense that, you know, when you go outside, you don't have any sunglasses on, and you just go outside and then it hits you in the face. That's what the eclipse is going to feel like for a lot of people. Even if you've been doing a ton of work and been on a spiritual path for quite some time, this is what's coming. I mean, a huge bang. And at this point, we're still dealing with like dual energies of some sort. It's either we're high or we're low. It's hard to be in the in between or to be in the balanced state. But that's what this eclipse is coming, like a last shot of light and a huge wave of light for that matter. And then there will be more balancing to be done. In fact, the month of July is really about like calibration. That's a message I received, like a huge calibration that is going on deep internally to merge the two energies of the divine masculine and divine feminine together. And of course, if you are a twin flame or in the twin flame connection, guess what that means? It means soul merging. It means the merging of these energies on top of the calibration that is going on. And you can see calibration as, you know, the last little details of what has been going on, like the last touches to make things perfect. When you bake a cake, those last touches on the decoration, they may look small, but they can make a huge difference. So that's what's important to remember. They could be small details, but they can make a huge difference in the connection and in yourself. So calibration for the month of July. But like I said before that, we need to go through the eclipse. And depending on what's left in your world, the work that is left, I mean, you may feel or respond to this eclipse in different ways. For a lot of the divine masculine, they're going to be hit with this wave of light and new downloads and information codes and whatnot. And for a lot of them, they're going to be like, what the heck just happened? Like, followed by tower moments and stuff like that. For others that have been really conscious of what's going on and doing their work, it's going to be less impactful. Or that's not really how I want to say it, but it's going to be less drastic. It's going to be as impactful, but less drastic because you've been doing this and you know the cycles and you know what's going on. So this wave of light is really bringing new codes, and there's no other way than going forward. That's also a huge theme for July. There's only one way, and it's forward. Only one, specifically for twin flames, specifically for people who have been doing their work and who have been waking up and going through tower moments after tower moments. And I know a lot of people are like, when is this going to end? Because it feels like I've been working all my life and never seeing any kind of results. Just be careful when you have these thoughts. It's not true. You are seeing results. They may not be the end results that you want, but you are. Just take a deep breath, a step back, and look at where you were at the beginning of this crisis 3 months ago. You changed, didn't you? So you are changing, you are seeing new things showing up in your life. It's just that if you focus too much on the twin flame stuff, of course you're going to be disappointed. And meaning, not of course you're going to be disappointed, but if you're only focusing on that and you're missing everything else that is around, yes, you're going to be disappointed because you are failing to see all those details that do have a major impact in your life. It's by recognizing them, by being grateful for them, and by integrating them fully into your life that you're able to just, not focus so much on the twin flame stuff. Because I know a lot of people are getting like impatient and stressed out. But remember, in August, there's a portal, Lionsgate, which is a huge twin flame portal, twin flame energy. And the game is going to change at that moment for a lot of people. I've been saying it for a few videos, how I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of twin flames coming together. A lot of people are working on manifesting their union, and they've been working on themselves first in order to be in balance and be healed first before coming into union. But it's time, this energy, the twin flame energy, the perfect or almost perfect balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine is important to this world, to this earth. It's absolutely important, whether you believe in the twin flame stuff or not. I'm not here to debate that, even though I know a lot of people don't believe in it. But true twin flames have a different opinion on that. And if you're one, I mean, it's undeniable. You know exactly, you know what I'm talking about. So if we look at this huge calibration going on collectively. So yes, affecting the divine masculine and divine feminine. It's like a calibration of the throat chakra, the heart, and the root chakra. It's the heart basically aligning all these chakras in order for the truth to come out, no matter what that truth is, no matter what the story is or is about. Whether it is about confessing your love to your twin flame or finally coming back from your hiding place and saying, it's true, I recognize that, the energy that we have between us is different, or whatever, just the truth on the political scene, but also the truth within people. The universe has been stirring everything and everyone onto that direction. And it's time for us to just acknowledge that and just accept it. Because that's often the problem. People don't accept it. And it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy to realize, oh, that's why I'm here on earth, to be a light worker and to speak my truth. But it does come with judgment from people that are not very spiritual or that do not believe in these concepts. But it's time to just not care about that and just really stand tall, shine bright, and shine your light, and don't worry about what people say, because what they don't know is that they're gonna be taken into those energies as well when their time comes, and they're gonna remember you. They're gonna remember. So there's nothing to worry about when it comes to that. The universe has a plan for everyone, and the plan is going on no matter what the 3D world is showing us. That's all an illusion. So that calibration is really about releasing of the old programs and beliefs and to replace them by ones that are full of light, hence the eclipse. So it's going to come through the eclipse, and then that calibration is going to keep on going to help us release those old programs. And sometimes, even if we're like really conscious of ourselves, It can happen that we have a program running in the back of our minds that we don't even realize it's there. We just don't. So for July, August, we just need to surrender to these energies and let the universe do its work and bring us where we need to be. As far as the divine masculine goes, a lot of them reached a tipping point of, I can no longer pretend. I can no longer ignore, because it's asking too much of me to ignore this thing, the twin flame connection, with this person, their twin flame, as opposed to acknowledging it, surrendering to it, and working with it. And that's always a sign that a really big amount of work has been done, because whatever behavior that we have or thoughts that we have, when we reach that moment where we are so uncomfortable, if we ignore those thoughts or behavior, it's a sign that it's time to change. And it's not the first sign that it's time to change. It's actually one of the last one before the change happens. So for a lot of divine masculine, that's what's going on. They've been reflecting. They've been having their divine feminine on their minds like nonstop. Even if you're not in contact or hearing from them, they have been thinking about spirituality, the twin flame concept, and their divine feminine nonstop for the past few weeks, few days, few months, depending on the person. So that's a major step forward for them. So they realize, you know what, the effort, it's not worth the effort to keep on ignoring this or keep on pretending that it's not there. I don't have these resources inside, so it's time for me to move. It's time for me to heal or to work or to use alchemy. And a lot of them, that's what they're learning, alchemy. They're learning how to use their internal powers to transform this. And for a lot of them, they already know how to use alchemy because they use it in their work or with their kids or, with situations in their personal lives or even professional lives, but they don't use it for the twin flame connection. And they're about to make that leap forward. And that's straight in line with there's only one way, and it's forward. That's all because of the upcoming eclipse and the work that will be done following that eclipse. So there's also a merging of the timelines between the twins, a balance that is slowly settling in. It can be very powerful when that happens, because when it does, often this is when we get like weird physical sensations, or it feels like you're in and out of your own reality. You're in and out, like you may be doing something and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, I lost my train of thoughts for a second there. I was completely elsewhere. That's when things are merging. So either the timelines, the souls, the energies, all the same to me, because when you're merging new energies, automatically your timeline is being affected. So there is this balance that is trying to exist between the twins. It could be difficult to surrender to this. It could be very easy to just resist this and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to do. But the thing is now, is that the divine masculine cannot do this any longer. They cannot say, fuck it. They cannot. For those who do channeling, you may have had that message lately on repeat, how the universe has a plan for everyone, that you can't really escape that plan. I mean, you can in one way, which would be like the worst case scenario for most people. And it would be like if you're totally out of it, either really sick and on medication, or by choice, if you're taking any kind of drug to just disconnect from this reality, that would be going against your divine plan. But most people don't do that. Most people want to be in line with their divine plan. They want to follow it because it feels good. But before it feels good, it can be uncomfortable and it can be shitty because we have to lose stuff. We have to go through hardships and pains and sadness and all kinds of stuff. But if you learn more about that plan or how to play with that plan, if you come to terms with the fact that this plan is here for your own good, not against you, and that you're just able to follow whatever vibe it's giving you, or just, hop in and follow the flow of that plan, that's where you feel like you can just like lean in and just let yourself be transported. Just like if you were in water, let yourself be transported into whatever situation or wherever you need to be. It's going to take you there. It really will. If you only allow it, if you work against it all the time, you create more problem. So that merging of the timelines between the twins also means it's time. It's time, like the message is being sent out to these twins. It's time to reunite again because the earth needs you. It's time. And if you're really aware of your own internal energy, perhaps you're feeling all these codes that you receive. If you just scan your chakras, if you just scan your energy body, you're probably seeing that there's a code in there attracting your twin flame if you're in separation or if you haven't met yet. So that's a really big merge going on. And both twins are feeling it in different ways according to their own bodies and life and all of that, but both are feeling it. And that explains also why so many people have a hard time sleeping. That has been going on for quite some time now, either having crazy dreams or not remembering their dreams, but mostly waking up and feeling so different from the day before. And then the work starts right there because you need to figure out what this means for you, what this means on that day, and you need to integrate that. And that's very demanding for the mind and the body. That's extremely demanding. But take it easy. The work is not done. It's just continuing forward. Remember, there's only one way, and it's forward. So, as we go along in July, only the right doors for you will remain open. Okay, whether you're conscious of this or not, whether you want it or not, if one door that isn't meant to be opened is open, the universe will close it for us, for you, for us. So if you are aware of this, why not do it yourself before the universe does it for you? That just makes things much easier for many people. Why not wait? A lot of people are masters at waiting at the last minute to do things, and now they all have the pressure of doing everything in the short amount of time that they have, instead of working little by little on one issue or one, specific thing. So these doors, only the right ones will stay or remain open or will open. Because some are closed right now, but they will open. And others will just close. And that's it. If you have enough wisdom in you to just acknowledge all of that and accept that this is going on, accept that this is for our highest good, and walk through the right door, you're going to get where you want to go. I mean, this can't go wrong. You're going to go where you want to go. As long as it is from the heart and not an ego thing. Because that's another thing coming up, the material stuff. Not only because of the crisis that we are in right now, but spiritually, the material stuff. People who are very greedy are going to be hit very hard with this eclipse. They're going to have a hard time either maintaining all their material stuff that they have right now or getting that material stuff. And now I'm not saying this to induce fear in people. It's not about fear of missing out on important stuff. It's about being greedy. It's about being defined by material stuff. Like, look at what I'm driving. This is me because I'm driving this car. You know, this is wrong. We are not our cars. We are not defined by the brand or the make of the car that we drive. It has nothing to do with our soul, our heart, our personality. So these people who cannot picture their lives without a specific car, a specific house, or a specific pair of jeans. I don't know why that image came into my mind, but like, let's say this is a symbol for like clothing. They're going to be hit hard because these things are going to become more and more difficult to acquire, to get to either the inventory is going to be very low or there will be no money for these things because they are resisting so much on these things. The money won't come easily, so they won't be able to go there, unfortunately for them. As far as the divine feminine, again, a lot of them are fed up, tired, but also a lot of them are very aware of what's coming up for them. Specifically for those who are in a twin flame connection, a lot of divine feminine were judged, taken for fools for believing in that concept. And a lot of them have been able to just reach that point where they can release all that judgment. And that goes in two parts. It's not only about them releasing that judgment, because a lot of them have been able to do it since a long, long time, but about the other parties involved, the people who judged. They're now seeing very clearly, and they're being tested in all different kinds of ways and being challenged on the things that they were judging, either as, you know, this can't be true, this doesn't make sense, you're seeing things where there is nothing, you're way too sensitive, you should go see a psychiatrist, all that stuff. These people are being challenged to the core to release those judgments and old programs. And the eclipse is going to help tremendously when it comes to that. So therefore, liberating the divine feminine. Really liberating that energy so it can flow abundantly into the world, onto this earth, in between people, and so that we can start a nurturing cycle, because it's going to be needed. That feminine energy is going to be needed in order to sustain what's coming after August, after the Lion's Gates and, and fall and all of that. It's going to be needed for the nurturing, for keeping the balance of the merging I was talking before. It's going to be needed to help all the people that are in line to wake up, or to wake up further or deeper. It's going to be needed to heal Gaia, to heal society. And when I say heal, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. Like, I don't necessarily believe that everybody on earth will be healed, because some people don't want to be healed. But if at least 51% is healed, that's really a nice thing. So that divine feminine energy is going to be needed, because it's going to be the new way of operating now, and aligned with the heart, with the higher self, with the soul, and compassion. And we're going to see a lot of changes for a lot of divine feminine and masculine, because the feminine, it's as if they're finally going to feel like they can breathe, or that they can be themselves fully without having to hide certain parts of themselves or personality or beliefs, because it's going to become like common, mainstream to talk about spirituality, twin flames, and all of that. So they won't have to hide anymore. They won't have to ask themselves, should I tell this person or should I not? You know, should I tell this person that I have like psychic gifts and that we all do, that I'm not special because I do? Because, you know, after August, a lot of people will have worked on their spiritual gifts, and it's going to become like more normal to just talk about it, because it's the natural state of being of a human being to have these gifts. It's been taken away for so long that still a lot of people think it's not true, it's not, that it doesn't exist, but it really does exist. It really does. And when we discovered that, it's like traumatizing, because, you know, it's so new, it feels different. Physically, it feels different when it happens. So more and more divine masculine are going to be aware of their own gifts, or they're going to be more accepting of the divine feminine. So therefore, the divine feminine is going to feel more liberated, which will be great. And talking about the spiritual gifts, of course, the divine masculine is working deeper on that level as well. A lot of them are like mastering now a really big chunk of their own gifts. For those that are clairvoyant, they're either becoming aware of what they're seeing, but for a lot of them too, they're understanding what it means. They're understanding how to use this in their lives, which it all comes down to following your heart and your intuition. Even though, let's say, you don't want to open up your third eye, maybe you're going to find it difficult to do that, but if you follow your intuition and your heart, you're okay, you're good. Because whatever like visions or images you would get in your third eye, you're going to get it differently as a deep knowing in your heart or in your gut or in your solar plexus. And you're going to end up following your path no matter what. So yeah, they are working on that. And for some of them, they're like finding this very traumatic. But for others, they're just like, okay, it's not as hard as I thought. And it's not as creepy as I thought. Because for a lot of them, they thought it was creepy. They thought it was like, oh, that's just like a unicorn. It doesn't exist. It does. Just like remote viewing exists. If you just think about the fact that the army uses remote viewing in their own operation, I mean, to me, it's like, well, okay, you guys are all psychics. You're able to see beyond time, beyond dimensions, beyond, you know, physical barriers. So, yeah, all of that is becoming more mainstream and talked about. So it's only a matter of keeping the balance, letting that calibration do its work, even though it's annoying. Just let that calibration really take the space it needs in your life and in your body, and move forward. Walk straight. Listen to yourself, to your higher self, and to your body. Be respectful of all of that, and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Like this wave of light coming up is something else, let me tell you. So that's it for now. Thank you for being here. You can follow me on social media at IndigoGirl555 on Instagram, Indigo Girls Readings on Facebook, or using my email at indigogirl555@gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.